Hi guys, welcome to my channel Lush Gardener. I hope you guys are fine and are safe. Now the reason behind why I prefer to have stem cuttings rather than leaf propagation, I do love leaf propagation as well because it becomes much easy to propagate a lot of varieties. A lot of times the leaves tend to fall and we are not able to do much about it, and then the best thing is just lay them on the soil. But the only issue with leaf propagation is that it takes a very long time. The first and the most important thing you have to do is let them callus, and then you have to wait for them to root, after which you start watering them, and then it's a very long process. But as compared to that, I feel stem cuttings are much easy because you can see these are some 4 of the stem cuttings that I had done. This is the oldest one. I will show it to you. This was the most recent one, so you can see I had done the stem cutting. So basically I had taken up the mother plant from here, and you can see it is already starting to put one small little tiny pup. So this was the stem cutting. So the mother plant was already separated, and now you can see there are 2 pups growing on it, and as I give a good amount of care, they will start to grow a little bigger. This was another one. Here is another example. This one also was a stem cutting. You can see this one already has a good size, not a good size, but yes, the pups are already quite big. They have started to put out the pups on the stem. So you can see there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think 5 of the pups on this small little stem. So it works out really well, because in this all you have to do is just wait for we have to wait for this brown portion that you see. This portion should only get calloused, and that's more than enough. Rest of the things will be taken care, because so the only thing that we have to be worried is that this portion should get healed up. Once that's healed, then we don't need to be worried, and we can water it because they already have established roots. The stem already has roots, so we do not need to be worried. So you can see it has already started to put out pups. This one is another one. Again, the same process. I had done a stem cutting, and now you can see that there are 3 pups. Actually there is a 4th one down. So again, there are a good amount of pups on this. So you can see it's pretty simple to do a stem cutting, what I believe, but only thing that but initially you have to be a little bit careful, because a lot of people who do not have experience, they might end up getting this portion in contact with water, and then it starts to rot. So you have to keep it in a dry place so that the cuts get healed. The same way any of the cuttings have to get calloused, the same way the tips also have to get calloused. So you can see mine have completely turned brown, which means that it's completely healed. And over here I have, this one was the oldest stem cutting that I had done. This is a Graptopelaum Purple Delight. So you can see even the cut has healed up. Let me focus. So you can see the cut has already healed up, and there is a pup over here. This one is the largest pup. So it's doing quite well. The stem is also very healthy, but again I cannot separate it right away. I have to wait for some more time for it to reach a decent size, and then probably I can separate the pup. So this is a Purple Delight. You can see it's very healthy, and the growth is also quite fast. Another one is already on its way. So that's why I feel like these cuttings, the stem cuttings, tend to work out really well. They do not need much care as compared to what the leaf propagation requires. Now again guys, I haven't added any fertilizers in this. Is just the basic soil mix that I tend to use. I haven't added any fertilizers. Probably I might add some pond water, but not right now, probably after some time, because it's been raining a lot. So I tend to use only rainwater as of now, but maybe later on I might use a little bit of pond water. But as of now, they all are doing quite well. All of the succulents are excellent. All of the cuttings are doing quite well. This one is the biggest one as of now. So all I have to do is just wait. Whenever the soil tends to dry, almost 90% of the soil tends to dry, I can go ahead and water it, because the pups are very small. They need a little bit more watering as compared to the adult succulents. But ensure that you do not overdo it. When you feel like the 90% of the soil is dry, you go ahead and water it. Now the same type of soil mix I have used for them. It is very gritty, loose, porous, because this was an adult succulent sitting in this before I cut it off. So the soil mix was the same. It was very loose, porous, and well draining. So guys, I hope that this video was helpful to you. So if you're looking out for doing some stem cuttings, I think this is the best way to propagate your succulents. You can keep cutting the offsets once they reach a decent size, and the stem continues to put out pups, as you might have seen in my last video, wherein I said that I tend to use these stems for harvesting the pups. So I tend to use them in that way, and they keep giving out pups. As and when they reach a decent size, you can separate them, and they will again start putting out the pups, provided that you give good care for the stems that are present in your container or in your pot. You have to give them a good amount of indirect bright light. Do not keep them in direct sunlight, otherwise the stems will get burnt, otherwise the pups will get burnt because they cannot handle too much of strong light. So you only have to keep them in indirect bright light. Even if you're growing them indoor, you can keep them under a grow light, but ensure that the grow light is not very close to them, otherwise they will get burnt. So guys, I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe and keep planting.